It's time to talk NBA, and the Clippers welcomed the Thunder to Los Angeles as the teams continued their fight for automatic Western Conference playoff spots. Let's take a look now of how it played out.
Have you been paying attention to how good the Thunder have been playing? Massive game Tuesday night against the Clippers, who have been playing good ball too. Good to see all on the court together. How about Paul George rising to the occasion early? These two will play Tuesday and then in a couple nights again back in LA. This is a massive game and week with playoff implications. And Kawhi Leonard all fired up here. And how about Terrence Mann getting an early ejection from the game? Kawhi gets the tech. Terrence Mann gets ejected. Oh my goodness. SGA back on the other end. At the half, the Thunder on the road up by 5, 56-51. Then Paul George. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. In a game. A 360. Sending a message. Big time dunk. More importantly for the Clippers at this juncture, they're up by 3 after this filthy throwdown. Back on the other end, the former Clipper. Remember the guy who was dealt for Paul George? That is just crafty. 1-point game. Then Paul George again. Look how tough he is. Mid-range game. The handle's pulling up. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. But then, oh no. The last possible thing anybody wants to see. Paul George going for the rebound. Appears to go knee to knee with Dort. Paul George would need help off the court. He did not return with what appears to be a right leg injury. Still awaiting word from the Clippers. Stay tuned to NBA.com for the very latest. Without Paul George on the court, Jalen Williams with the throwdown. He had 20 points, 8 rebounds. Then SGA spins off the defender, creates the space, and scores. He had 31 points. Thunder up 101-98. Now Kawhi Leonard, great feed, threading the needle to Batum, who scores 1-point game. Last chance for the Clippers. Look at Lou Dort, like a blanket, all over Kawhi. He got him in the chamber. Oh my goodness, Kawhi couldn't even get the shot off in time. And SGA loving this. The Thunder have won 8 of 10. With the win, they move up to the 7th spot in the West, just a game in the loss column behind the 5th place Clippers.
So it was confirmed today that Paul George suffered a sprained knee and will be out until the start of the playoffs at minimum. So the question, does the Clippers' success hinge on PG's availability?
Well, I definitely think so. When you look at the numbers, 17 games he's missed for the Clippers this season. They have lost 11 of those, won just 6 of them. He is averaging 26, just over 26 points for this year alone. And you look at their last 7 matches where he again would have been averaging over 26 points, 6 assists, 5 assists, 6 blocks per game. And again, they've had a winning record, 5-2 in that period. So what it says is that whenever Paul George is not available to this Clippers team, they are going to be in a spot of bother. The good thing is, based on the projections, he could be back by the start of the playoffs. You suspect that they should be able to get there.
No, but I think that may be a problem.
It could be. But let's say they do manage to get into the playoffs, then he will be back for then. And who knows, hopefully he will be back in form and you won't have any serious issues preventing him from performing at his best if he does come back. But I think these are concerning moments for the LA Clippers.
Definitely concerning moments, Lance. Yeah. And of course, when we think about the way that Paul George complements Kawhi Leonard, it's a duo that actually really works very well. So for me, I would be worried if I was coach, because I'm thinking I'm losing one of my pieces. And we all know when any NBA team has to win a championship, we love to talk about the big 3. So imagine not having your big 2. Also, not having a Paul George means that Russell Westbrook would have to step in and get some more time. And
You mean the dependable Russell Westbrook?
Right, and that's where I'm going to go with this point, because Russell Westbrook actually has the record for having the most turnovers in the NBA. So I think having him play more time is not a good sign for the team. So for me as well.
The playoff race in the West is tight.
Yeah.
The Clippers are 5th in the moment with a 38-35 record, I think. The 10th place team, Utah Jazz, is like 36-35, so not a huge difference. And this is the time of the regular season when teams are pressing gas and stepping up their game. So unlike Ricardo, I'm not too sure if the Clippers are fully safe to get into the playoffs. But they are in a playoff position at the moment. But I just think that with a few more weeks remaining, they've got to ensure that they stay there. And without Paul George, that could be a problem.
Yeah. Well, team, on the other hand, this exciting Thunder team led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How big of a splash can they make in the playoffs? Because Shai was brilliant last night. He was lighting up the court. Of course, his numbers speak for itself. From inception, everybody was talking about him being a superstar that was in the making.
Yeah.
Well, he lit up the NBA last night, and a lot of us are talking about him now.
Yeah, and this is the point of the season that you want your big names to come to the party. As Lance pointed out, the race in the Western Conference, very tight at this stage. And you want big game performances. And last night was a big game performance. Just a 1-point victory for the OKC Thunder, but a very important victory as they push for a playoff place. And yeah, Alexander was a big part of that. And they will be looking for more big games like that from him. And they will need more big games like that from him. So it's definitely a good sign. The Clippers might be looking on and thinking, we let that one go.
No, I actually thought if Paul George had played and he didn't limp off in the manner in which he did, I get the sense that messed with the momentum of the team. And of course, the team understands the role that Paul George plays. As Ricardo said, and I mean, the numbers speak for itself, it was a close margin losing the game. It wasn't as if the other team was so dominant and they won by a big amount of points. So I just think that also affected them.
I think it's reasonable to think that if Paul George played the entire game, they would have won based on how impressive he was in the game and his confidence level. You saw the 360 dunk there. The commentators didn't believe that he actually did that in a tight game, but that showed at the moment where his head was, confident and on top of his game.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we go to the break, there were other games on Tuesday. Let's take a look at the results. So we had wins for the Magic, Hawks, Cavaliers, Pelicans, Celtics, and the Thunder. It's break time.